Well, hello, and welcome back to our last day of our online Vacation Bible School at Village Bible Church. My name is Fran Creech, and it has been my joy to be with you this week as we have learned more together about God and about the Bible. You totally know what to do now to get yourself set and ready to listen. Hopefully you found that good and comfortable spot where you can focus in and not miss a thing. And right now, if you're watching me really closely with your eyes, and if you're listening to me really closely with your ears, then you are ready to get started, and so am I. We have learned so much about Jesus and about his love for us this week. We learned about Matthew and how there's nothing we can do to earn Jesus' love for us. We learned about Paul and the power of forgiveness, that when we confess our sin to God, God is faithful to forgive us our sin and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. We also learned about Jesus and how he had to die a terrible death on the cross. He suffered so much, but he was willing to do it because we are worth it to him. And then yesterday, we added that block of promise to our Tower of Truth. We talked about how Jesus had to die on the cross, but then the good news is that he rose again from the dead, and he is alive today. He is a God who keeps his promises. Now, I love the story that I get to tell you today from the book of Matthew in chapter 7. It's actually a story that's a little bit shorter than some of the other stories I've told you this week, but that works out perfectly because I have something really special that I've saved for you at the end of our time together. So we get to do both of those really special things, and I'm so excited to share both of them with you. Now, as we get started today, I have something really funny in my tool bag. Many days this week, we have found things in my tool bag that you would not normally find in a tool bag. But today, this is really unusual. Today's item is a house. This house is going to connect really closely to what I'm about to tell you from Matthew chapter 7. You see, Jesus was speaking to a large group of people, and he was telling them a parable. Now, a parable is just a story that helps us know more about God. In this parable, Jesus wanted the people to understand how important it was to listen to him and to do what he says. Jesus told the people that everyone who listened to him and who did what he said would be just like the wise man who built his house upon the rock. When the rains came down and the wind blew hard against the house that was built on the rock stood firm. I thought it would be fun today to take a look at what this might look like. So, I have my tub of water here. I have my 2 rocks. These are actually 2 bricks, but they're definitely as hard as rocks. And I'm going to put them right down here in the middle of my bin. And then I'm going to take my house and I'm going to place it right down on the solid part of that rock. Now let me come get my storm here just a minute. Move this over here. Let me get my storm. And let's see. Watch closely to see what's going to happen to this house. Let's watch. Whoa! Look at that big storm. And look how firm the house stood up. It didn't even move at all. That's what Jesus was talking about. He said, wow, if you will listen to what I say, and if you will do what I say, you will be just like this house that was built upon the rock. Well, Jesus kept speaking to the people, and he told them another part of this parable. He told them about a man who was not as wise as the man who built his house on the rock. This was a man who built his house on a foundation of sand. He said that any person who listens to what he says but doesn't do it, doesn't do what he says, would be like the man who built his house on the sand. So let's take a minute and see what that would look like. So this man would have built his foundation out of sand. I'm going to take a couple bags of sand here, just dump it right in the bottom of my bin. All right, I'm going to put my house right on top of that sand. And then I'm going to get my storm ready. Let's watch. Let's see what happens. Oh no, that house totally fell. It was not secure at all. And that's the point that Jesus was making. He said, if you just listen to what I say but don't do what I say, then you are like the foolish man who built his house on the sand. It totally crashed. I would definitely want my house to be built on the rock. And I love that when we listen to Jesus and do what he says, he is our strong foundation for life. We're going to go ahead and add a block of truth to our tower of truth today that says life, because Jesus is the strong foundation for our life. I love that powerful truth. Now, I told you I was going to save something really special for us to do at the end of our time together today. And I like to call this Give Me 5 for the Gospel, because it uses all 5 of our fingers to teach others about Jesus. I'm going to teach it to you right now, but my hope is that you will listen so closely that you will be able to use this way of telling others about Jesus to tell someone else today what I'm going to tell you. You're going to wait to do your drawing until the video is all the way done. I'm going to do the drawing now, and I want you to watch closely so that you'll know what to do when the video is over. There's 2 ways to do this. You can do your drawing right on your fingers, which is what I'm going to do today. Or if your mom or dad or the person that you're with for PBS at home today doesn't love the idea of you drawing on your fingers, that's okay too. You can trace your hand on a piece of paper and easily draw the same pictures on that piece of paper. Now, you can decide if you're going to write on your fingers or on the paper. I personally like to write on my fingers because it's kind of easy for me to lose a piece of paper, but I've never once lost my fingers. So let's give this a try. So here's how this goes. I know that my fingers are pretty small for the camera to be able to see. So I'm going to show you a picture of a zoomed in picture of my finger first, and then I'm going to draw it on my finger. The first picture I want to show you is a picture of a crown. I love that this picture goes on our number 1 finger because Jesus is number 1. He is the King of all. Because he made the world, he has the power to rule the world. So I'm going to draw a straight line across the bottom, zigzag to connect it so that I'll have a crown on my first finger. Look like this. Good. Jesus is number 1. He is the King. The next picture I'm going to draw is an X. You already know about this X from earlier in our week together. I had you hold up your arms to show the shape of an X. It shows that sin is something that separates us from God. We're going to draw an X on that next finger because sin separates us from God. Now look at this. When I put this finger beside the God finger, do you see this, how it's taller? When I elevate myself above God, or when I think my ways are more important than God's ways of doing things, that's when I sin against God. Let me show you the next picture. It's a picture of a cross. We've talked about how Jesus had to die on the cross, and I'm going to draw that cross on my next finger right there. show that Jesus died on the cross to forgive me for my sin. And then I love the last picture here. It's a picture of a present. You're just going to draw a simple square, put a plus sign right in the middle, give it a couple loops at the top for a ribbon so that your gift will look like this. Because the greatest gift, in fact, let me draw my picture first. The greatest gift that you will ever receive is being invited into God's family now and forevermore. Now our thumb has a special job. We can put our marker away. We only draw on 4 of the fingers. That leaves my thumb to do a special job because every person in the world has a decision to make about these 4 truths. When I hold my truths, curl them up inside my hand, I end up with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. A thumbs up person says yes to these 4 truths. A thumbs down person says no to them. And I can tell you, the best decision you'll ever make in your life is to say yes to these 4 truths. You might be watching this video today and realize, yes, I've never had a chance to say yes to Jesus. And I want to say yes to him right now. So what I'm going to do is stop now and pray. And if you would like to say yes to Jesus, you can pray with me. I'll pray out loud, and you can pray in the quietness of your own heart to say yes to Jesus. Let's go ahead and pray. Jesus, we come to you now, and we say yes. We believe that you are the King of the world. Jesus, yes, I believe that I am a sinner and I don't want to stay separated from you. Jesus, yes, I want Jesus to forgive me for my sins. And yes, Jesus, I want to receive that wonderful gift of being in your family now and forever. If you just prayed that prayer with me just now, I want to know about it. We're going to put a special phone number up on the screen, and you can tell your mom or dad or the person who's hosting your VBS at home that you said yes to Jesus today. Just have your mom or dad or that adult that you're with text the words yes to Jesus to the number that you see on the screen. Our church would love to follow up with you and to give you help to know more about what it means to follow Jesus. Because you know, Philippians 1:6 really is true. It happened for many of you today. He who started a good work in you just now in this last 5 minutes will be faithful to complete it. He who started a good work in you will be faithful to complete it until the day of Christ Jesus. You know the motions. Let's close our time together by doing the motions to our verse. Ready to say Philippians 1:6. Philippians 1:6. I am sure of this, that he who started a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. I look forward to getting that text from you today. It's been wonderful being your teacher this week, and I hope you have a great rest of the summer. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.